The number one reason agents fail isn't leads, it's their schedule. Let me show you one that actually produces clients. Now, when you're putting together your schedule, I always like to say your schedule for today starts last night. Because what I know is if people don't go to bed at the right time, if they don't get to bed at a decent time, they won't wake up early to get their day started. And your day should start sometime in the 5 a.m. hour. There have been studies done that say that the people who make millions of dollars a year all wake up sometime during that 5 o'clock hour. So make sure that you're waking up early, which means you need to get to bed early the night before. Now, when you wake up, why do we need to wake up early? The reason it's important that you're waking up early is you need to start by doing some type of reading that you're going to do. Spend some time reading and meditating. Take time to read something that's going to enhance your mind and meditate. Take the time to stop and think about your day. Plan it out and get centered before you start your day. The other thing that needs to happen, and all of this that I'm talking about should happen before 8 a.m. So sometime between, I would say, 6 a.m. and 8 a.m., you are going to be doing reading and meditating, and we need to get some exercise in. You've also got to exercise. So the way I like to think about it is you need to exercise your body and your brain all before you get started during the day. So make sure you're going to the gym or going for a walk or a run or lifting weights, some type of exercise. All of those things need to take place before 8 a.m. The other thing you need to make sure you're doing before 8 a.m. is eating breakfast and getting showered. I have had too many times where I've walked up to an agent at the office to help them and they stink, and you can tell they didn't shower. So make sure that you don't stink. All right. The other thing that we're going to do, once we have gotten ready for the day, then from 9 a.m. until noon is going to be your prospecting time. This is the time that you're going to spend generating leads. You want to make sure that from 9 to noon is when whatever type of prospecting you're doing and lead follow-up that you're doing is taking place between 9 a.m. and noon. Most agents think I'll do it later in the day. I have learned if you don't prospect early, you won't prospect at all. So make sure that you're prospecting between 9 and noon. From noon, so from 12 o'clock until 1 p.m., go ahead and take your lunch break. This is when you can go hang out with some agents, spend some time decompressing from your prospecting during the day. But go get some lunch and reset for the day. From 1 p.m. until 2 p.m. is when you're going to do your pre-qualifying. So you're going to call the people that you still need to pre-qualify. You're going to do other lead follow-up. You're going to do lead follow-up. You're going to do lead follow-up that you didn't catch during your prospecting time. So the people that you needed to follow up with and have it, you're going to do that then. Then from 2 p.m. until 3 p.m. is going to be, and I'm going to abbreviate this, appointment prep. This is when you're going to get prepared for your appointments for that day to make sure you have everything you need. And then finally, starting at 4 o'clock and at 6 o'clock is when you are going to attend your appointments for the day. And the idea is that you want to be done by 6 o'clock. So between 4 and 6 o'clock are your appointments. Finish up and be home to spend the rest of the time with your family or significant other or friends, whatever it is. But here's what I will tell you. If you will implement this into your schedule, you are going to find so much more success. I always like to use the example of Chick-fil-A. They know their schedule. They know they are not open on Sundays. It does not matter if they could sell more chicken. They have chosen, this is what our schedule looks like, and we are going to stick to it. You need to approach your schedule the same way. put together your schedule, and then when you're prospecting, you're just trying to fill your appointment slots at 4 and 5 p.m. or 3 and 4, however you want to do that, but you're scheduling your appointments during that prospecting time. If you'll follow this schedule, you will find so much more success in your real estate career, and I guarantee it. Okay, next, after you are prepped for your appointments, then from 3 o'clock until 6 o'clock is where you are going to go on and attend your appointments. So now I'm not saying that you're going to fill every single bit of that for 3 to 6, but what I'm saying is you should want to be done with attending appointments by 6 p.m. every single day. And the idea of that is you want to be able to be back home with your friends, your family, whatever it is, or doing what it is you like to do. One of the things that I liked to do was I would reward myself if I did my prospecting and I set appointments that day. I like to reward myself by saying I'm going golfing in the afternoon. And then I would take that time later in the day to go golfing after my appointments were all finished and taken care of. That's one of the things that I liked to do. You need to figure out, how do you reward yourself for following this schedule? Now, I know something that a lot of times people will ask me is, well, what if the person says they can't meet until 7 or 8 o'clock at night? What do I do then? Here's what I will tell you. You've got to make the decision of how you're going to do that and how you're going to handle it. For me personally, one of the things that I like to do is I had on my voicemail, on my recording on my phone, it said, if it is after 6 p.m. or Sunday, I will return your call the following day. Now, the advantage to having that on my voicemail of, hey, if you're calling after 6 p.m. or it's a Sunday, I will return your call the next business day, is I was training my clients to know I don't work after 6 p.m. and I don't work on Sunday. So it was very rare that somebody would ask me for an appointment. But you've got to decide for you. If that happens, are you going to refer it to another agent in your office so that you can stick to your schedule? Or it is okay to say, I will take that appointment at 7 o'clock, but I'm going to adjust my schedule for that day. But the key thing that I would say not to adjust on your schedule is the prospecting. Of everything that you do in your day, this piece right here is the most important. And that's the piece that most agents will give up on and say, well, I'm just going to I'll take an appointment during this time. See, for me, I might take an appointment at any other time, but not during my prospecting. This is what's driving your business. And so you can't let other things get in the way of your prospecting. But if you'll stick with this schedule, what you're going to find is you will have so much more success because you know where you're supposed to be and when you're supposed to be doing it, and you will find way more success.